I'm ready. Hey, it's me, Wanda B, and you are tuned in to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. It's Sunday. It's fun day. It's always fun on Sundays for me because I get to talk to you guys. So I'm going to jump right in. Just got a random amount of things to talk about because so many things were happening. And I found out yesterday that it was Sweetest Day. So radio.com's founder, creator, also the super producer. He goes here at IntellectualRadio.com, and he's going to be my virtual co-host. Or
virtual. That's what you think. Come on, camera right now, y'all.
I can't see him, so he's virtual to me. I hear that voice. So thank you for joining us today. Okay.
I know you to give.
Okay, I got a gift, but I didn't realize I was getting a gift because it was Sweetest Day. I mean, you right? You probably think, so you just get gifts on any random.
Right. You thought you just because it was Saturday.
No, I really didn't equate that guy. I think I've researched this and shown like that. Mark, or maybe men have turned this into that. I mean, like men turned it into, but somebody made this a day, and I'm going to get on social media so you guys can chime in. Somebody turned this into that it's supposed to be a day for guys. So and then I know somebody's going to say, some man out there is going to say, that's probably why you conveniently didn't know that it was Sweetest Day, because it's for men, and men always get. I'm telling you what you're going to say before you say it, because I know somebody out there is going to tell me that it was easy for me to forget that it was Sweetest Day because it's meant for men. So I'm going to handle Sweetest Day sometime this week, I think, because I didn't know it was Sweetest Day. I didn't get on social media a lot this week, but I don't think I saw it on the brief moments I was on social media. I don't think I saw that it was Sweetest Day.
But I bet you saw if it was Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day? I don't know how many people know me out there, but no, Valentine's Day, I'm going to talk about a month before Valentine's Day even comes about. You're going to hear about Valentine's Day.
And why is that?
Well, see, that's why it's not fair to bring up Valentine's Day. For a long time leading up to birthdays.
No, I guess you would.
That's not it's not because it's Valentine's Day, it's really Sweetest Day. Then you're going to hear a lot about Sweetest Day. I like birthdays. Now I will go all out for your birthday. So let's bring up, did you not have a nice birthday?
How
was your birthday?
Personally, my birthday was pretty incredible. I must say, thanks to Wanda B.
Thank you. Okay, so you can't, birthdays, just like Valentine's Day, which happens, I will go all out for birthdays, but Sweetest Day, I just didn't even realize it was a day. Like I also missed Grandparents' Day, and I probably missed Siblings' Day, where I was supposed to do something with my siblings. Or even I saw people posting pictures of their daughters and sons and saying his daughters something. And I was like,
You know what? I would like to know, what were some of the gifts that were purchased on Sweetest Day? I would like to know.
Men, if you're out there, and women too, because I do think women got gifts. See, first, I have a couple questions I need your, and I'm going to get to social media. I'm on my page on social media. If you're tuning in on Facebook, I'll be like a bumblebee. So, okay, guys, tell me if you got anything. Also, tell me if you got her something for Sweetest Day, or if you're like me and didn't even know it was Sweetest Day. I'd like to hear from you. So, and thank you again, my co-host behind the scenes. I do appreciate you. So, so you got nothing. A super producer, you didn't get anything for Sweetest Day.
I personally got absolutely nothing, zero. But you know what? It was cool.
Why didn't you me like in a week, like it's Sweetest Day coming up?
Do you want me on Valentine's Day coming up?
who probably know it's coming up. People on wherever you listen to IntellectualRadio.com, she said, well, Wanda B, when my birthday is coming up, gonna tell y'all. I don't expect you all to guess. I tell you all when it's Sweetest Day. So what did you get for Sweetest Day? Let's hear about it. If you knew about it, I do know I saw some events going on for breast cancer awareness. So the month of October shares so many things with so many people. So for so many events going on. So Lady Rochelle, who is part of the IntellectualRadio.com family, you have to check out her show. One of my favorites, Warriors Talk, is Mondays at 6 p.m. here on IntellectualRadio.com. She said she bought herself, I missed the comment here, I'm going to go back to it. She bought herself flowers. So you could be your own sweetest. But that can happen any day of the week. Why wait till October, whatever date it was? What's today's date? The 7th. Whatever, 17th, 18th, to buy yourself gifts. I think you can always be your sweetest, and doesn't have to be a day. And maybe I should throw that in there too, that sometimes of the year, that one day doesn't have to stick out like that. I will say, if I saw something that at any point in time, I will, I'm not the cutest flower up close my angle, and it was way across the room for a reason. Because it was across the room for it. I'm like a delicate flower far away. You come up close, you're like, oh, she's a rose, a prickly little rose. So going back there where it was. So I didn't know that. I said, I can't read. I'm going to pull out my glasses because I can't see without these glasses on. Oh, I'm watching as you. This is on a delay as I'm watching you pull that camera close to me. Hi, Brandy Morris. What did you get anything for Sweetest Day? Did you celebrate Sweetest Day? Did you even know it was Sweetest Day? No one talks about it either. I'm at IntellectualRadio.com 7 days a week, and that was never brought up in any of our shows. True, we have intellectual programming, and maybe they were talking about much deeper topics.
Well, let me just say this right here. Now, at Intellectual Radio, most of the hosts are women, right? So they ain't gonna talk about them buying gifts, because they know Sweetest Day is about them buying gifts. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you're gonna be here the week before Valentine's Day. It's gonna be a whole bunch of topics surrounding Valentine's Day, because y'all want y'all, but we can't get ours.
You can get yours, but okay, jump on this bandwagon. I want to hear from you guys. If you got anything for Sweetest Day, go and tell me what you think. Lady Rochelle, Warrior Talk. It's always the third Saturday in October, but some men don't care for the man-made holiday, and some women don't care for it either. Valentine's Day isn't really. Valentine's Day is not be for both men and women as well. You can buy a man a Valentine's Day gift. So it's not just for a woman. So I do think men get Valentine's Day gifts as well. I'm going to get my social media moving. Right now, I see one comment at a time. So thank you to all my virtual co-hosts. I like to call the people who chime in from where they are on social media. I appreciate you. So I do think you can be your own sweetest, like Lady Rochelle said, and buy your. Yay! I got my got this going. So John Russo said, happy belated Sweetest Day. Oops. Don't get me in trouble, John. Thank you. But it's Sweetest Day for men. John, did you get anything for Sweetest Day? Let me know. And happy belated Sweetest Day. I know you also have a birthday. So brought herself flowers and chocolate for Sweetest Day. She got hooked up. So did you hook yourself up for Sweetest Day? G Mello said, I didn't know. My wife reminded me, simply men not celebrated enough. Oh, now see, I don't like the idea or concept that men are not celebrated enough. I would hope it wouldn't take this one day to show that you are celebrated. I do think celebrating you all the time and celebrating you as we go along this journey in life is important, that it shouldn't take one day to prove or show someone that you're celebrated. But I know women would probably feel differently if a man gave that excuse on Valentine's Day or gave that reasoning on Valentine's Day that I show you all throughout the year. They're looking for something on Valentine's Day. So I get that. So I'm probably in the doghouse because I really didn't know. Lady Rochelle said, go get it on discount today. Now, wouldn't you appreciate if I got things on sale versus paying full price? So she said you can get the stuff on a discount today. So I'm going to go get you a discounted card and whatever else I can come up with. So give me something to get because I didn't even think about that. So Brandy said, my husband and I don't celebrate in all 19 years. However, our wedding anniversary is tomorrow. Oh, happy anniversary. See, to me, that's more important than the sweetest day. That's a day that's for you both. You're celebrating you both. And it means it has some meaning to you both than just creating this day and having it have this random meaning because someone told you it should have meaning for you. I think it's almost like someone is telling you should think about your sweetest. And I do know that there are people who are not celebrated. So they need these days to remind them to check in with each other. So I do realize there are people that need these days to say, you can get caught up with life, with raising children, with work, and not take the time. You don't have date nights, so you don't take the time to check in with each other. Maybe these days are needed for those types of people to check in with each other. So I get that. But your wedding anniversary means something to you both. I think that is the perfect time to check in with each other and show love. So that's beautiful. And that you choose the time that works best for you guys as a unit to show love. So I think that's the most important thing is that you show that person you appreciate them, you care for them, you're thinking about them. It doesn't necessarily have to be October, whatever day that was, 17th. So I thank you guys for bringing up. I am going to Doghouse sometime this week and go do something, I think, for Sweetest Day. So I also had a question that was sent to He Said, She Said. It's a group on Facebook, so please join our group. We thoughts on this topic that was brought to the group and asked if we could discuss it. So I would love to hear from you. First, take a call. We have a call. Okay, I have a caller calling in. I don't have a phone, so how will I do this, dear? Hold on. Okay, so this is He Said, She Said with Wanda B. I have a caller. What's your?
I'm coming from Chicago.
Hey, Katie Lowe. Katie Lowe, I'm going to try to find the microphone here. Katie Lowe is another person from the He Said, She Said, from IntellectualRadio.com's family. We have a lot of great programming. I'm not just the only show here. I must say we have probably at 4:45.
Oh, yeah. I was so glad that he jumped in and made the statement. I want him to know that women, we automatically holidays, we celebrate them. A lot of times men don't. They don't get off into the excitement of Valentine's Day like women do. So we are known by, I say, creature of habit, that when our birthdays and certain special days that have meaning to us, we throw hints, we do things to make them aware of it. So Sweetest Day, basically they say it's to celebrate men. Men don't do that. They just don't do that. You know, they don't bring up Sweetest Day. They don't talk about it.
No, I like chocolate, or this person's on sale at Macy's or New. They don't drop the hints of I like perfume, I'm running out of this. Or just straight up, it's Valentine's Day next Tuesday. You better get me something. There was not one dropped hit. There's great comment. Yes, it was. Men do not. I didn't get one dropped hit. Not even on social media where Sweetest Day. I didn't see one post. Now I will say I was rarely on my phone to talk about why it was a busy week for me. But men don't drop hints. You death threats. If I don't get something, you're gonna get hurt. Reminders, men don't typically do that. If you're a guy that gives reminders of Sweetest Day, let me know. Lady Rochelle says parts of the northeastern United States and North Florida. Why just North Florida? South Florida, like we too busy enjoying our weather to get caught up in the holiday. On the third Saturday in October, it is a day to share romantic deeds and expressions and acts of charity and kindness. Oh, that's a sweet day. Now, I don't want to slight it. I had never in my life would want that at any time to think they're not thought of and not heard of, thought. I think that's so important to do. I really, hopefully, I'm definitely a birthday girl. I try to really go out for your birthday, but I want to also ask my women out there, and I don't know if guys this happens to as often with men, but I know two people, and one was a family member who was carjacked within the last week. So, and I heard from people close to me that it is happening very often in the city around 99th Street. So if you're ever out and about and you're stopping at gas stations, be careful and mindful of your surroundings. Not staying off your phones. I know that's hard. In fact, the person I know that it happened to was putting in GPS, and I know I do that often. But checking your surroundings, who's coming up, and we just really, it may be a time that we will have, whether you want to get your conceal and carry, but it is about be careful out there because it's a very, very scary thing. And these exactly, people are in troubled times, not working. So many reasons why, but I really would like us to really keep our eyes and ears open. So I had a question sent in to He Says, She Says inbox, and you can always send this in. And we do have, this wasn't one I brought to the coach that we bring topics to if they need to go that deeply into it, but this one was one that was sent in. So a man wrote into me and asked me if I could bring this up on He Said, She Said, that he should date a woman and he would do nice things for the woman all the time. And he'd take her out to dinners if she needed something. He'd help her out in situations. He financially have groceries. And so he picked up the son and took him to her when she needed help. So now when he was in college is now in the NBA. And he's making over $100 million in the NBA. And he feels like the lady should maybe reach back and say, but you helped me out when I needed help, and say, you know what? I remember you. Remember when you used to pick up little Johnny? I'm going to call him John Money. So do you feel like she should be reaching back, or even maybe if he owed anything, would it only be fair to reach back to help someone who helped you when you were in your time of need? So how do you feel about that? If you used to help out someone who is now a millionaire, let's say in your instance, the person isn't necessarily in the NBA, but they're well off, they're wealthy.
You want to let's just say the person is an X.
This is an X.
Very, very important to say the person.
I left out a portion. Oh, yes.
X.
I did say they used to date. So more than just date, they were a couple. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. They were a couple, but they had broken up prior to, him going to the NBA.
So are exes owed anything when you break up? If you hit the lottery, or would you reach back and take care of your ex?
I just want to add that that's a very, very good question. I really, really want to hear what people have to say about that, because I have my own personal biases about that subject.
Taking care of you. So what do you think? Do you think that's only fair? So some of the comments, Valencia, who is part of the He Said, She Said team. Hello, Valencia. Valencia said, no. Oh, anything. If he's looking for something, it wasn't from the heart. So what about if you do things, supposedly, are you doing things to be paid back in case of?
What do you want?
If you are doing something, when you do, the person didn't know that they wind up in the NBA or wind up being a millionaire or wind up hitting the lottery, but there should be no expectation of something in return if you did it out the kindness of your heart. I'm in agreement. So they come from somewhere else. Exactly. When you do things for someone, you should just know that I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart, not even expect or know if it should just come from your heart and should be no expectation. But I do think people do things like that all the time. I bought you a gift, so now where's mine? Or I got you something for Valentine's Day, so where's my sweetest thank you? expectation of. Now, if they want to do that, though, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Or what do you all think? Do you think if they choose to remember the people who did things for them and reach back, of course, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But I don't think there should ever be expectations or disappointment.
I like to just say something, just so y'all know. If I hit the lottery, anybody who's ever looked out for me in the past, I'm gonna look out for them. What I'm gonna do with $100 million? Come on now, come on, $100 million. I'm gonna reach back. Anybody who's ever looked out for Earl Winfrey, I'm gonna reach back. That's just me. That's just me.
Okay, remember he said that, Lady Rochelle, like all the people that right now they making a list of all the different hosts who supported IntellectualRadio.com, all the people where they like, okay, so how do you draw the line who you've done something for? Because what if they feel like what if they feel like what they did deserves being paid back for, but you don't feel that way? You know what I mean? Like, what if he feels like that? You didn't really do nothing for me. My mom asked you to get me groceries. I didn't. What I'm paying you back for? Answer.
Are you waiting on me to answer? You waiting on me to respond?
Yes, I am virtual co-host. I'm reaching out. If anybody else wants to respond on Facebook, then let me know. But what if they don't think it was that big of a deed that you think it is? What if they think you did it out the kindness of their heart and therefore there's no reaching back needed? I didn't ask you for it. What do you think about that?
Well, I still feel that you need to, when you make that kind of money, you should look at those who have helped you in life, period. I will go back so far as 5th grade. If I come across that kind of windfall, I'm going to reach back to people who I know may need it. I'm gonna go back as far as I possibly can.
So you're going by need.
I'm not gonna give it all away. I'm definitely gonna reach back to those in need, of people who may ask.
Oh, I don't want nobody asking me for my money once I'm Nope. I'm gonna reach back to who I want to reach back to. But if I start getting all these needs,
hypothetically speaking, let's say you have a business, right? And the pandemic hits, okay? And let's say you bought the share out, and you know your son has $100 million, and you call up and say, "Hey, listen, you know it's the pandemic going on. I don't want to lose the business. You know how important it is to the community. No, can you spare 10 to 20 grand?
I think you spare 20 grand. No, I don't like being asked for money like that. For money. Lamont, who is also part of the IntellectualRadio.com family, Hood Cash Entertainment, his show G Spot Lounge will be on tonight on Hood Cash Entertainment. He says absolutely. So men, y'all want to be paid back from your exes, huh? Women. Earl, the super producer, wants you, Lamont, to expound on that when you say absolutely. You absolutely feel they should reach back, or do you absolutely feel like, expound on the word absolutely. What do you mean by that? John says, all exes get nothing. The end. Period. I'm with him. I really don't think you could be reaching back and saying, you helped me. You helped me in 5th grade. What? Tie my shoe? I'm not paying people back because they helped me tie my shoe. What's the cutoff? I think Valencia said that. Like, what's the cutoff for helping me? When does it end? And how much do you think they deserve based on counting your coins? I got $100 million. So you remember when you gave me 10 cents on my bus fare when I was trying to get the super transfer and I didn't have enough?
Listen, I'm not saying, up $1 million or two, but give something.
Well, I'm gonna give you the 10 cents.
Pay rent for a couple of months. Just somewhere saying, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you.
You cannot go paying the rent of everybody who's ever done anything for you. So you bought me $100 worth of groceries in 1996. And now I'm supposed to now give you $20,000. I'm not doing it. And I've had people help me, and thank you. I'm so appreciative from the kindness of my heart. Hopefully you got something for Sweetest Day, but I am not going to be bringing back. And I've had people help me in trying times, and I may reach back to those people that I remember. But 5th grade, you said, So you help me tie my shoe, pick my book bag up, and you gonna come to me. You remember that time I helped
You know
you?
what? Nah. Of course, I was exaggerating when I said 50.
X was important. How were y'all
listen,
long with y'all together?
I'm not saying go that far back. I was just exaggerating. Okay, but what I'm saying
is they feel like you feel that they helped me with bus fare when I was a freshman in high school, when I was a sophomore and my car broke down and I was getting on the bus and they gave me $1.75 for my super transfer. I should reach back because they businesses is the pandemic and they need some support. How would this millionaire draw the line at who they help and who they don't?
You know what? All I'm saying is, if you got $100 million, you can take a couple million and just reach back to folks who've helped you in the past. I just think it's the only right thing to do. It's fair. I mean, you know what? This is the same guy who will probably go past a homeless guy and give him $50K just because he's homeless. So, but you can't reach back and give $50K to that person who took you grocery shopping 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Oh, your time frame, and I think that you bring up a very good point. What if their time frame is like, man, you said 2-3 years ago, man, that was 18 years, and the real actuality is it was 15. That's where you can't cut it off. The story says 2-3 years ago when it was originally sent in, a time frame was put in there. It was 10-15 years ago. So now you done made it 2-3. You didn't cut it back that you just gave it to me 2-3 years ago. See, that's why you can't use that logic that you helped me and now I owe you. Valencia said, hell to the no. In fact, if anybody know Valencia, that's what you got to know who you're working with. You'd be like, she ain't gonna give me this money. So, I mean, I would absolutely reach back, but me, that's not going to be the criteria. You helped me, so therefore I am in turn having to help you, and it's all based on, come on, buying some groceries. So what if in the $100 million they decide to help by sending you $200? Will you be mad because I only sent $200?
So just say pretty much just F you. To me, that's just not right. Not when you got that kind of windfall.
What if you don't know it, but he know his mama had 10 exes? You wasn't the only one buying groceries. So how should the child now determine?
Is that a question for me? You know, you out winning NBA championships. You know, you're making all this cash. All I'm saying is just reach back. That's all I'm saying is reach back. I'm sure you're reaching back to people who haven't done anything at all for you. And there are some who have actually done some stuff for you back in the past, be it 10 years or 12 or 15.
So Katie Lowe says, no, if you feel Katie Lowe like thinking, I see the wink on Katie Lowe's response. See, you just on this thread can get hooked up. Valencia says correct. He was getting played from Drum Street. So I think you don't really know. You don't know where you stood in this person's life. You not a good criteria. So I definitely would help, but it's not going to be based on. And you may not make the list though, so don't get mad. I mean, you in real life would make the list, but I'm talking about the person who felt they helped me in times of need. Let's say, I don't know. I would make the list big and really. I would help people who are, especially if their mother was the hookup. If you were dating my mother and you're in a relationship with her, I won't even think what you did for me was for me. Do you think a child would think he think something for me or my mother?
Listen, if the boyfriend actually picked you up and took you without the
Vicky says, hi, Vicky. I miss you, Vicky. Vicky says, if he took her son shopping, you would think they spent time together. So I think the son could bless the man and the ex could remind him of his whereabouts. Now, the amount would be up to him, even if it's low as $1,000. It's more so an acknowledgement and a thank you. He could. I do agree that anyone could reach back and thank and 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 thank the people who have helped them in their lives. I think it's a very sweet gesture. I don't think it's an expected gesture. It shouldn't even be on your forefront of thoughts. That it's almost as if you feel the person feels.
You can't win NBA championships. Come on now. How can that not that can't kind of bother you just a little bit?
First, does the boy even know you out here struggling? He ain't keeping up with you. He out here winning NBA championships. He's living his best life. Living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you. Lounge that'll be on. I think he's actually on Hood Cash. Check him out. So, what extent do you help? Would you help? Period, and he put a big period behind it. Would you reach back to your ex? Let's hear. Sweetest day, and as we were talking about sweetest day and men getting gifts, this has come up here at IntellectualRadio.com very often, especially by the shows that the men who have shows here. And I know one in particular that this has really come up with them quite often, that they feel like more women should be paying for dates. Not just on Sweetest Day, but they said that it's very expensive to date nowadays, and them dropping $100 every time they're on a date with the woman is getting to be too costly, and that women should now pay more often. And is it the first date that you pay, second date that you pay, or should you pay? Now, I have a rule, and I don't believe and know this wouldn't be a nice thing to say, and some people won't like it, but it's just the truth for me. And you can blame it on Walter Davis, who is the father of me, allowed to date, that I was paying for a guy today. He probably would not have let me even go. And so he is the first person who kind of taught me what I should be expecting. Now, I'm not having to walk up to the door and speak to my parents, instilled in me that that's not a thing to do.
Let me just say that in my entire life, I've never, ever, ever, ever expected a woman to pay for a date. Never.
Whether it's second, third, fourth, fifth date.
Never, ever. Now, couple, that's different. But if we're just dating, I'm going to always pay. Always. That's just how I roll.
So Lamont said no, I definitely would not. You definitely, I don't know what he's responding to, so I'll go back on that. He said some women think a man is supposed to always pay for everything on a date. They do. It's a date, not a marriage. Most men just take the date because that's what we are supposed to do. So I think if a woman asks you out, she should pay for that date. If she says, I really would like to go to, I don't know, Universal Circus this weekend, and then she should then get the tickets and take you. If she offers, she should pay. Now, I do believe that makes sense. I don't think you should say, I really want to go to Ruth Chris, and then sit back and wait for you to pay for it if she suggested it. It's there. Men, do you want to be taken out? Do you think it would be nice if more women took you? Let me hear this. If she wanted to take you out and said, I like to go out on a date, I don't know if women should even be asking men out on the first date. I don't know. How do you feel about that? I'm not feeling that. I'm really not. I'm not feeling... if men are supposed to be the hunters, when do we allow them to hunt? Or do you believe that that's old-fashioned to even think that men should be hunters? Maybe I'm old-fashioned with that whole thought process. Do you believe that men should be asking women out on the first date? Katie said real men will never allow a woman to pay for a date. And I do think, like the super producer said, I don't think he would ever, even if it was a friendship and he went out with a woman or went out, and I think even with male friends, he would even pay. He would always offer to pay. So I think that just maybe speaks on the caliber of some men, and not that other men are not of caliber. If you choose to have a woman pay, I'm not saying that you aren't of a certain caliber, but I do think that that may tell whether I would actually be interested up front. And if we got to the date and you said, "Are you going to pay your half?" That would be a turn on. So, super producer, have you ever been asked, would you ever have a woman pay her half on a date? Are you even there? He's in another room. You're tuned in to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. And I'm so excited to have so many people who are chiming in and virtual co-hosts. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So should more women, so if women are saying it's hard to find good men and there's a shortage of good men, would they find more men if they offered to take more men out on dates? Would that secure them a larger dating pool if they ask men out on dates? So what do you think? Does that increase your dating pool if you ask men out on dates? And I don't know if it would. I think men would be nice and go. What man turns down asking a woman? If a woman asks a man on a date, I think he's going to go. I don't think he'll say no, because men don't like looking like the bad guy. Or am I wrong? I'd like to know what you think about that. If you feel they would or would not, would they say yes just to be nice because they don't want to hurt your feelings? And I do think that would happen. I do think men would, that a woman asks them out on and let her pay if she asks, but that doesn't necessarily mean he likes her. And I probably will need men to let me know if I don't like to speak for men, but I do know some men who have told me that they wouldn't say, they wouldn't want to disappoint the woman, so they'd say yes. And even if they actually wanted to pay, I don't know. I don't know how that goes in the dating world of asking people. If a woman asks you to go out on a date, would you allow her to pay for it? And if it's the first date, would you say yes? If she says, "I'd like to take you out on a date," would you go? I'd like to hear from some men whether they would go or not. So you can chime in. We are He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. And so many of my co-hosts, not co-hosts, but I guess they're co-hosts. They're all hosts here with their own respective shows, IntellectualRadio.com, and they've been chiming in. So I love for you to check out some of the alternative programming we have here, because we have so many different shows that all have a variety of topics. And so even coming up today on Sunday after me, we have Ed Talk, who is a financial expert, and he'll have a real estate expert on later today at Change at 6 p.m. We'll have Hood Cash Entertainment G Spot Lounge on at 9 p.m. tonight. So matters. Women, do you think it matters who pays? Wait, always want everything for free. Ride a man for his money. Wanting everything for free.
Do you honestly expect for a woman to come on and say, "Yeah, I'm riding a man"?
Toussaint said, "I'm going." Franklin says, "Well, pay for their own pockets." If a woman isn't, that's what he said. And Toussaint, if a woman isn't open to treating, I'd assume I'd be getting used. Fates do actually have some, there is some definition on the date and who pays in action that does have a way to go on. No one likes that. But I can't treat the person after a date with the man. If he walks away feeling like she used me, I do think that men have as much intuition as a woman has. And he's probably being used if he walked away feeling that. So, super producer, have you ever been on a date and wound up feeling used after you paid for it? As on, you said it, so that must mean we can say
as the world turns.
So Don Franklin said the reward is some coochie. So most men then are actually just trying to invest in getting coochie. The reward is her, not necessarily out. They don't use this exact wording. They don't say it as simplistically, but they of how can you get my son some food? This has happened a couple times. You pick up the child and take him grocery